everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Vanessa Bellandoni and today I'm talking about writing, more specifically on inspiration for writing and writing stories, because I also write poetry, but that is very different, at least in my experience, inspiration wise. And I'm going to talk about the 4 sources of inspiration that I find mostly in my writing experience, but that doesn't mean there aren't any others, because the sources of inspiration are infinite. But I'll talk about what I've found in my experience, the ones that come more often to me. So first is my favorite, dreams. I love dreaming, I really do, and I'm lucky enough that I remember a lot of my dreams, and many times those dreams become stories later. Right now, the one I'm working on, it's a novel on the Arthurian legend, because it's something that has always been close to my heart since I started learning about the legend, and I always had this thing of, I don't know why, but I would see a movie or read a book or whatever, and I would be like, that's not how it happened, and then it was like, what the hell do I know how it happened, or if it even happened? And then dreams started to come along, scenes, and so I decided to write a book about it. And I actually have this notebook, and this is where I've written some of those dreams that had to do with that particular story. So that's something, if you do dream, I do recommend you write them down, because sometimes we forget after the fact. And the first dream I had, well, it was more like a vision that I had in a meditation, and that was the one that started everything on dreaming on the Arthurian legend. And it was that I was in this kind of room full of sculptures and like vases and armor and a lot of things, and these things were whispering, and then they were saying, Merlin, Merlin, and I was like, but I'm not Merlin, what the hell is going on here? And that's the one that started everything. But I also have this other notebook where I've written other dreams that aren't specifically on any topic in particular, but just dreams that had come. And I was reading it before recording the video, and I found it interesting because apparently on the 16th of January 2021, I dreamt that I was 5 years old, living in Austria, and then my father worked in parliament. And then when I was coming out of school, I was talking to this other man, and I was telling him that I didn't want to go to school anymore because I was afraid of a teacher that would stand on the entrance to the school with a gun. So I didn't remember I dreamt that, but here is written, and I don't know about you, but I think that's good material for a story, which I'll still have to figure out. But anyway, the second source of inspiration for me, it also has to do with what I was talking about, the novel on the Arthurian legend that I'm working on, because the second source for me is mythology. So myths and legends can be a really good source for inspiration, a really good material to write a story on. And it doesn't have to be a retelling of the myth or the legend or an event of history, because you can also do for historical fiction. If you like a specific time or a specific event in history, you can write a story about it. but you can also use the archetypes from the mythology or the mythological figures in it and use that as inspiration for your story. And the third one is life itself. So things that had happened to you or people in your life. Many times it's like, I don't know, something happens to you, but then you start questioning, but what if it had happened this other way? So that can be a source for a story. And also, I like to pay attention to detail. So some things that I've heard, for example, I was talking with some friends once, and one of them, she was talking about how she loves all things colorful. So when she would get stressed out, she had this crystal bottle filled with water and sparkles with different colors, and she would just shake it and gaze at it, and that would help her relax. And I was like, oh, that's something really wonderful. And so a character of one of my of one novel I'm working on is based on that. I based her personality on this anecdote from my friend. I really love that. And the last one that for me works better for short stories is writing exercises or writing prompts. And this helps me a lot when I'm feeling like in a writer's block. So, and sometimes I also use it for the novels I'm working on, but it's more like for specific aspects of them, so character building or specific scene. I try to use the writing prompt if I can to work on something on the bigger stories I'm working on. But also I like writing stories like based on these exercises just to flow and get into the writing. So that's it. But as a bonus, I'm gonna leave you with an exercise with a writing prompt. So if you feel like writing, maybe that can help. And this type of exercise is called a sandwich. I actually learned of this for theater classes. I was in theater classes in middle school, and when we would do improvisation, this would be one of the exercises. So I'll tell you the word or phrase with which to start your story or whatever you want to write, and the word and phrase to end it. So you only have to figure out what goes in the middle. So it's like I'm giving you the bread for the sandwich, but you decide what you want inside the bread to be your sandwich. So if you want to do this, the phrase for beginning is life is like an apple. And the phrase to end the story would be, and that is how it all started. So first phrase, life is like an apple, and final phrase, and that is how it all started. So feel free to share your stories in the comments if you feel like writing. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, all those little things you know how to do. It helps me a lot. Thank you, and may creativity knock on your door.
Live from Vanessa Valandonia's channel, the one, the only